Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stallions Run. Of course, your host Buck, as always, with Scout. And guys, we are getting closer, and closer to kickoff. If you can't tell, I'm very excited. And in fact, I have something to say real quick. Scout, I know you'll be joining me in a somewhat similar announcement if you're wanting to do that. But to quote the late Jerry Reed, well, if I can keep it on the ground when I put the hammer down, then I'll be Texas bound and flying. I will be in Arlington for the kickoff game, so I'm excited for that. I'm getting prepared. I'm just everything booked. So that's my plan. I'm gonna be in Texas for the kickoff. I'll be in person seeing the Stallions win. I shall say win their first game in the UFL against those not so good, I think, Arlington Renegades. Scout, I know you're excited for the possibilities that are coming up in a little less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I will also be going to Arlington. It was just something that kind of popped up last minute. But I think it'll be super cool. Um, I think it'll be something that kind of it's definitely an experience for me. I've never been west of like Mississippi, or maybe I've been to Louisiana once. I don't know exactly, but
What?
Texas
You've never
is
been west of the
definitely
Mississippi?
no, Texas is newfound territory for me. And I'll probably
Oh,
be soaking it all up. I might be showing up to the game in a cowboy hat if I can find one before the game.
it,
But
okay.
yeah,
If,
but
if you if you're going to get a 10-gallon hat, just get the standard black. Don't do anything fancy, black or brown. Don't do crazy, please.
I was just thinking like the khaki colored, like the tan colored.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so we have World Traveler Scout
Yeah.
entering the dangerous land of Texas for the first time. So I'm excited. I haven't I've spent some time in other parts of Texas. I haven't spent a lot of time in Dallas, so I'm going to be spending an extra day. I think at this rate, I'm going to probably be visiting some of the spots. And of course, we got day two of the UFL. Might go to a Rangers game. I'm not sure about that because I'm planning to be right by the stadium. So I think we're both excited though for this trip, just to be able to kind of get out and get around. But we have a lot of news to talk about. Also, Scout, do you want to get into the news that broke a little bit before recording today?
Oh yeah. So Taco Charlton is a Birmingham Stallion. Former Michigan Wolverine, has a ton of
Hmm.
NFL experience. I posted that he has nearly 200 tackles at college and pro combined, and he also has about 40 sacks college and pro combined. But definitely, I think we were missing that. I don't want to say like undersized end, but like a leaner end to say the least. We did put Willie Arbery on injured reserve, so that
Yeah,
will be a somewhat loss if he does happen to not be able to come back. But yeah, so.
yeah. I want to talk about that Willie injury real quick. We have no idea so far if it's season ending, if it's 2 to 3 weeks, if it's 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, I think if it's anything past 4 to 6 weeks, you have to consider it season ending at this point because
Yeah.
Taco would probably be taking in his spot. But um, all for the best to Willie. I hope he quickly recovers. I hope it's nothing serious. But bringing Taco, that is crazy. Like, I thought
Yeah.
that was a name that, like, for some reason, just he just seemingly had no interest in doing spring ball. And then, what never mind. Here he is as a Birmingham Stallion. I'm just overall shocked that we didn't bring back one of our names. Scout, do you think that's a little odd? Also, that you know, why not bring back one of the potential cuts? Or do you think maybe that the Stallions saw an opportunity to bring in Taco?
I think one thing, and this has been kind of true both this year and previously, um, is that basically like we're not the best at bringing back people. Like I know we brought back Brody Buck last year, but at
Hmm.
times when we bring back people, we just or like when we cut people, we just let them go to other teams, or would rather them go to other teams, or bring someone else new in. And I don't know why exactly. Like I know we brought back Brady Buck, and I know like going into like this season, we quote unquote brought back like Bolden and some other people that had left us in previous years. But I think we would prefer to bring new blood in rather than bring like we had a reason we cut someone previously, so like I don't know
Yeah.
exactly.
I find that's a little bit odd. I wouldn't say like it's a crazy big deal, but you would think, you bring in someone, especially. I mean, what we're 12 days, a little less than 12, over. No, we are. We do quick math. Like,
Mm.
uh, okay, we're about 10 days, I think. 10 days from the Stallions kicking off, and again, you're bringing a new player, and he's probably going to be second string or third string, but especially something else we're going to talk about in a little bit. It's like, okay, this feels like you feel like you would want to bring in that cut. It's just like, okay, look, hey, we've had this injury. We know we cut you. Come back. You know our playbook. You know what's
Mm.
expected. We don't have to kind of bring you up to speed. We can kind of slot you back in. Now, hey, again, Zach and Skip, they could have said, hey, look, we think maybe this person has enough talent where we can kind of work them into the system, and maybe it starts off with a couple of drives every week, and then week two it's a little more, and then maybe they're first string. But I don't know, that's something I'm just kind of like, just have to bring that up. But I think you also bring up a fair point with new blood, because hey, who'd have thought Taco would be in the league? you know
Yeah.
it's just one of those exciting things. So overall, I guess your thoughts, just to kind of wrap up this. And I know you're looking for those stats. I can tell by the look of your face right now. I guess,
Yeah.
how big of an addition do you think this is for the Stallions?
I think it's a big addition. I think one thing, if I ever actually get on one of the more general shows, I'll talk about more, is that we tend to have specialized players. I think one thing with Taco, I'm not doubting his ability, but I think he is specialized in the sense of we will use him a lot in like run coverage, right? And I think the one thing we were missing is somebody that could beat a running back or be a smaller back out to the flat, and I think he'll be really good there. I could be totally wrong there. I feel like we're there's a lot of wrenches being thrown at the defense right now, and the rest of us are just having to sit back like, well, hopefully we can figure it out at some point. But yeah, but it's very interesting to say the least. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of like the point for me. It's kind of like, I think you have a point, specialized, but you know,
yeah,
you probably also need someone who's a jack of all trades at the same time, where it's like,
yeah,
okay, we can slot them in. And Willie was kind of that. He was someone like, he could go after he could go after receivers, he could go after the quarterback, he could go after blank. He would try to do that. So something that maybe go for someone that's again, now fully armchair kind of GM mode right now. But I would have gone for a cut. Still, just my opinion.
yeah.
But hey, I'm not the one with I don't have two rings, so I can't really say anything more than that. Um,
Mhm.
but we also have another important event coming up. We have the last cut down day before kickoff. Saturday is going to be the final cut down day. Instead of a whole bunch of players, it's now only 8 players, and still it's not fun. But I think it's time we go and start looking at potentially at those 8 players that we could see be removed from the Stallions roster, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I said beforehand, I do think that there's going to be a few receivers cut. I would at least two, maybe more. Um, but yeah, but it's going to be a tough day because I think that everybody that's currently there or everybody that's currently like, how do I say this? Um, everybody that's currently
You're
on the team right
unfortunately having
now. Yes, you're having to cut somebody that you like, right? Or you have to cut somebody that
Yeah.
I like, or that you like, or that a
Mhm.
another fan likes, and it sucks because you already had to do that in the draft, and you already had to do that in the first round of cuts, and now you're having to do it again. And I feel like every time you just like rip more and more of that band-aid off, and I think it will be fine. I think there will be I think it will make sense. Like I don't think there might be one or two cuts that are like, hey, why are we cutting this guy or this guy? But there should be something in there that's like, hey, this is why, right? And
Yeah.
but yeah.
Now, to be fair, the last time we went through this, it kind of came out fairly quickly. The UFL PR, he dropped like noon. It was like noon central. It dropped like here's all the entire cuts. No idea if they're going to repeat that this time. So that's something that I think should be kind of noted. But still, I'm looking at a roster. I'm looking at the roster right now. It's like, how do you go through this and just say, you know, we have to let you go? Like I seriously, I'm looking through this, and it's like, I see like two that I'm okay with, and that's it. And like I seriously, like I can see Isaiah Zuber, unfortunately being cut, and I'm gonna get some heat for this one. I could see unfortunately Myron Mitchell getting cut,
Mm.
and then I can't think of anyone else. It's like maybe a tackle, maybe a guard, uh, just like. But at the same time, those are super important positions. You do not want to get rid of those. And it's just like, man, do you see any names besides the one I've said that you're like, hey, let's kind of. I think this is unfortunately a position where we have more than we need.
Um, I'm thinking so hard. Ugh, it's there's
It's not fun.
probably yeah, it's not fun. There's probably a few. I'll go ahead and say we will probably cut another offensive lineman, but don't ask me which one because I am not your offensive line guy. Um,
Yeah,
uh, like I'm trying to just think. And then
I,
the, I don't want to
God,
guess receiver either really. And honestly, I think we might cut another because like I'm looking at it right now. And between D line and edge, we currently have
mm,
what is that? 10? So we might cut another one of them
yeah.
too. And I think that they're going to cut
I'm
another
looking at
linebacker.
linebacker. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think linebacker. Unfortunately, there's some fat to trim. I'm not, and when I say fat, I mean like, look. Unfortunately, if we're trying to create space, we got to remove this.
Yeah.
It's like
And
maybe safety also. Maybe you could cut a name from safety, but at the same time, I see all those names, and I'm like, how do you get rid of one of these guys?
uh,
Because
it's
that would be a huge loss.
yeah, and it's to me it's
There's only,
I don't know.
and I'm not going to name. I'm not going to name any names, but I only see one name that if they're cut, I would not be upset about that. That's literally how good this Stallions roster is, and I cannot
Mhm.
figure out how you they're going to do this. I mean, I don't see it. I don't.
Yeah.
God, man, I hate this is possibly worse than the first cut down day because
Oh, for sure.
unfortunately with that day, like there was clear spots where you could easily say, okay, blank, 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 and blank. All right, you're gone. Blank, 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 blank. You're gone. Now you're going down. You're basically you're cutting just to cut at this point, and it's just like could we I mean you realistically could do a 58-man roster, and this would be perfect. But I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Zach's gonna do it. Like you're going to make someone upset. with any of these cuts. That's it. I'm shocked, man. Um, man, Scout, like, I guess how would you handle this situation with how good this roster is?
I mean, you can't make any enemies, right? If you try to make an enemy, you're
Yeah,
gonna end up on the receiving end of a bad, really bad day. Um, but man, I don't know. It's gonna be really tough.
man, yeah. I just I'm looking at this. I'm kind of starting to factor in some ages. Also, it's like, can this be a possibility? Can this be, you're starting to factor in some injuries. It's like I I think there's going to be some really upset fans on Saturday, and I'm not excited to see the reaction to that. So yeah.
Hmm.
Um. So kind of moving away from the more sad stuff, we officially know the logos for the XFL and the USFL conference. No, I'm not going to pull up a picture because Scout, have you seen these logos
Bro,
for
it's
the
oh my lord,
conferences?
they just made everything. They made everything black and white, and
Yes,
like
they just
I
took the old logos and made it black and white,
and
and the
it's
word
like,
conference underneath.
they could have done better, honestly. Like because like I'm the type where it's like you could have done so much more than just this, right? And
No, okay. So here, hang on. I saw on Twitter a really good suggestion. What they apparently what they said, and I agree with this, is you know the old like North and South logo for the USFL conferences. You still take that. You have the coloring, but you make
yeah,
one a U and you make the other one an X. And that makes them look different.
okay, but okay, this is my college football brain talking. You would get
Okay,
hate from the Unite the it's the league North Alabama plays in. Hold on. I can figure this
Sun
out
Belt?
in a short amount of time. No. They don't That's what
How did
the
those get in?
United Athletic Conference. It's the old
Did that
whack and
exist?
it has existed, but if you look it up, it's literally just a U that has like a star and then it has like stripes or whatever. So if you just did the U and then you did football, you'd probably get some pain from that, or you'd probably because people
Oh, right. Thanks,
as we learned with
lawyers.
what yes as we learned with the Washington NFL franchise, that it gets really difficult to do some of this stuff.
With the
So
letter, yeah. I don't know if yeah, you're right though. Like they could have done better. I gotta
yeah.
say that they could have. This feels like I don't want to say that actually, but uh, 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 anyway. Um, but that's all the news that we have. Next week, though, we get to do a game preview. We get to talk
Yeah.
about kind of the. Unfortunately, well, I'll talk about the cuts, but we get to do that game preview, game prediction, and all that. I mean, we get to talk about the rest of the games in the league, and then the week after that, we get to talk about the standings, even though it'll be one win, one loss. But
Yeah.
Scout, I mean, are you excited to do some game predictions?
I think it'll be cool.
You-
But yeah.
Okay, just be cool. Okay, all
Like
right.
like I think
Well,
it'll be cool. It's definitely a different like obviously I've not done a game prediction on this yet. I think honestly if depending on how the time works out, we could do a post game show in Arlington or just
potentially.
make something up real quick. But yeah, and then it's like I know I've talked to Luke and everybody else that's going to Arlington, or he lives down there now. But the just seeing where their heads at about, hey, are they gonna like what are they gonna do or whatever. So it's
Mhm.
cool to me though. I like it. I think it'll be really fun. But yeah,
All right. Well, to everyone, as you probably see with our new background, Scout, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at Southern Charm SP on Twitter, and then Southern Charm Sports on um, Instagram, and even on the Real app if you've ever been on that. That's the new one that we're trying out. It's a little sports app. Doesn't have spring ball yet. Maybe we'll change that. But yeah, I post a variety of content, mostly Alabama related. I know it's so funny. I made one Creighton post a couple weeks ago, and I had 3 or 4 different people message me like within the next 3 days, like, "Are you a Creighton account?" And I'm like, "Nope, I just got 80,000 views on um, poop talking the team Creighton was playing." But anyways, so yeah,
All right, and you can find me at Stallions USFL. It's right down there. It's also at Stallion. Basically, look a buck, UFM. You can find me right there. Not too hard. So, but until then, we'll see you guys next week. But then stay safe and get ready for spring ball.